Oh, wait, I gotta tell you guys, I was saving this. We've made a major oversight. We missed a classic live action Star Wars video.
What?
What?
I started playing the Jedi Knight games, or like Kyle Katarn,
Yeah.
and the second one, Dark Forces 2, has live action cinematic cutscenes.
Whoa.
Wait, really?
Really?
Yeah,
What?
they're so bad. But it's official Star Wars.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and watch those.
We will actually have to do an episode on
When
it.
was that made? 90s?
Like, yeah, 96 or so.
Yeah, let's do it. That sounds good.
Welcome back.
We're back.
Star Wars Total Rewatch.
Oh, and Hannah's here.
Oh yeah, Hannah's here.
Hello.
Hi, Hannah.
Thanks for that introduction. Just a side note.
It's just awkward.
No, we're glad to have you with us.
Thank you. Nice to be here again.
Yeah, glad you could drive all the way over here and hop on with us.
Glad you could fly all the way out here to the Balmora Run. Where we are stationed today.
That's a dangerous area to traverse through.
Mhm.
Yes, it was.
Appreciate you making the trip, yeah.
Glad you could dodge all those manta rays.
Yeah, it was a close one.
You close scrapes. You made it through.
We're talking today about episode 3 of the Clone Wars, Shadow of Malevolence. Malevolence.
Yes.
That's right. We pick up where we left off last time. There's still a giant battleship cruising around. At least now they know what it does. But in this one, it is on its way to destroy a medical station filled with helpless, injured clones. And so Anakin leads a small strike team along with his Padawan and Koploon. Is that right?
Plo
Plo
Koon. And to take out the Malevolence.
Yes.
Nice.
They disable it by the end of the episode. We don't see it destroyed yet.
No, but the next episode is called Destroy Malevolence.
Oh, there's a clue.
So it's a safe assumption.
Use your imagination about that one. I'm already forgetting what happened in the previous episode. It's been a while since we talked about that
And
one.
I have not seen it, so...
Oh yeah, you're just jumping
I just
in. You gotta
watched this episode.
catch up on these. We're only on episode 3, so you don't have much catching up
Do
to.
we want to give a quick recap of that one? I
Well, the
guess.
Malevolence attacked the ship that Plo Koon was on, and then Anakin and Ahsoka went and recovered.
Oh yeah. They're out in the escape pods floating around.
That was
Okay.
literally all that happened.
Got it. That's all I needed to remember. I'm refreshed. And we can go ahead on this one now. More Malevolence.
And yeah, you can totally. It's much more apparent to me how different the animation is compared to the later episodes. Just like there's a couple of shortcuts. Like I noticed when they were watching like the back of Obi-Wan and he was talking, like it did not look like he was talking at all. You know, like normally you could see like their mouth kind of moving from behind, like,
cheeks.
his beard and everything. But it was just like
Their eyes don't really move much. I noticed the part where Obi-Wan was supposed to be thinking, and his hand comes up and like strokes his beard, and his face is just like a statue.
it's definitely something that they get a lot better at. And one thing they were talking about is how they were rushing to like get the model fully completed of the Malevolence because it's just like this massive spaceship, and so like there's all this crazy detail.
Oh, the detail, like for close-up shots, especially.
Yep. And they,
Gotcha.
as I was watching the featurette again, so they were talking about how they were rushing to try to get that done, and how like in the next episode they kind of need to go into even more detail, but that they weren't expecting, so they had to like go back and like re-add in a whole bunch more things.
Sure.
Yeah. So after that, I was kind of like watching the actual model of the Malevolence, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of flat
It's just
in a lot of parts.
gets more detailed each episode.
And one thing, I don't know if any of you realized what they were flying in this episode.
A Y-wing.
Yeah, they were flying Y-wings.
Oh.
Apparently, the Y-wings that they use in the later series are just like really old, crusty, missing paneling versions of the Y-wings.
Okay.
Like that the Rebellion managed to sneak out of somewhere.
These are the brand new models.
Yep, so these are the brand new
Okay.
models.
Cool.
And actually, there is an episode of Rebels where they actually steal a bunch of Y-wings from an old salvage yard.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hannah, how are you feeling about this stuff, if this is your intro to the Clone Wars?
Yeah, I guess I didn't really know what to expect. I just know people said it's like a really good show.
Right. It's like you know it exists, but haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny. Like it was just like a short 20-minute episode. I don't know.
Yeah, that alone is unique for Star Wars stuff. Like the Mandalorian
Mhm.
episodes, you know, as far as like episodic Star Wars, like you kind of got a feel for, you know, these contained storylines in that. But these are very short.
Right, and I guess I haven't watched any animated Star Wars. Like none of it. So that alone is just kind of interesting. And I was like trying to figure out, are these the same actors? Or do they get other people or what?
Right.
Yeah.
They're not.
No, they're all
Yeah, I
they're all
had to look it
separate.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a handful of characters that are voiced by their real actors, but none of the main people, I don't think.
Yeah, it didn't look like it.
So there's a lot of animated Star Wars. I mean, almost everything that's not a movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know how I haven't watched any of it.
No, well, you can. This is your chance to get started.
Yeah, I've been wanting to.
That's kind of why we're doing this, just an excuse to go through all of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right, like see what we missed along the way.
Now they're starting to tie some of this stuff a little bit back into the live action.
Right.
Mostly just some of the events that happen start to get referenced in some of the Solo had a couple things. I think the new season of The Mandalorian, is supposedly going to have a couple of characters from the animated series. Still haven't had that verified. The trailer's out now and they still didn't really really verify that.
Well, they're Dave Filoni's characters. He wants to get them in live action, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it'll be cool. But that's just one more reason to familiarize ourselves with all of this.
But anyways, returning back to our
I
old
know.
show here.
Episode. Yeah.
They're preparing their strike force. I guess Anakin has some kind of shortcut. They've got to try to beat the Malevolence to this medical station, space station. So he knows some kind of shortcut he's going to take his squad through. And then Obi-Wan is going to come with some battleships the long way around and meet up later. But here they're all getting ready in their Y-wings, and I wanted to point out there's like a double long gonk droid. It's got 4 legs. It's like 2 guys and a horse.
Yeah, well, when you need that like extra juice, because gonk droids are basically mobile power units.
Oh.
Are they? That's what they're...
Yeah,
Interesting.
I believe
They
so.
Plug him in.
My Star Wars canon is correct.
Nice.
Their squadron does all the call signs. Shadow 5 standing by.
Right.
Shadow 2 standing by.
What's the one clone? They call one clone by his nickname.
Matchstick.
Matchstick.
Yeah, good war name.
I thought they all had nicknames.
The clones get like actual characters. Some of them
The ones that
are like
died.
recurring.
A lot of them do.
Yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately, Matchstick dies in this.
I know.
Like the one guy they name dies, just so we can have an emotional connection.
Ooh.
But there's some that come back, like they become main characters, don't they?
Yeah, Echo and Fives are the biggest ones that come to mind.
Cool.
I'm going to have to remember to really watch for that because I'm still not finding it very easy to tell any of the clones apart.
Well, they haven't made them too distinct yet. That's kind of how
It's
I've
like
felt.
they're clones or something.
They're clones or something.
The one just didn't have hair.
Oh yeah, all right. They have little differences, right?
Why did he get a different haircut than the rest? I don't understand.
Well, in the first episode, some of them have like weird mohawks and stuff. They're trying to distinguish them.
Yeah, and crazy face tattoos.
Well, like they have to. How else do they tell each other apart?
But unless they come back like from episode to episode, and then of course there's no way you can remember that. That's what I'm waiting for, like an actual clone character that shows up in more than one episode, which we haven't seen yet.
We got to see the Kaminoans. That was fun.
Yeah, seriously, there's a Kaminoan that's like heading up this medical station. It's cool. I like that because she's like overseeing treatment of injured clones. It's like, she's the specialist. It's great.
Makes sense.
She actually really cares about them too.
Yeah. They didn't just build them and ship them off to the Republic and we're done with our part now.
Right. The upkeep of your army.
Well, we hear, those battle droids are expensive because Grievous just smashes one. Because he complains that he can't hit anything.
I still can't hit anything.
Boy, this is a lot more fun when they're not shooting back. I still can't seem to hit anything.
Grievous, those battle droids are expensive.
Again, it seems like, how expensive can these droids really be? Like, they're pretty useless.
They went with the lowest bidder on these guys. That's for sure.
I kind of like all this, like, I mean, in the movies we see like the big picture of the war.
Mm-hmm.
Here we're getting like the fine details, the logistics that go into it.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels pretty accurate. Just Grievous is targeting their medical station, which is pretty critical. So they're sending out a pretty good sized force to stop him.
Yeah, they do show you a lot of little bits of what's happening, little battles, little missions in different parts of the galaxy.
Right.
And for, well, I guess for both of you guys who haven't seen a lot of this, they jump around a lot to different characters from episode to episode. It doesn't always follow the same people.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You tend to get more of Anakin and Obi-Wan and Padme, maybe than you do of anybody else, but you still have a lot of episodes focused on Mace Windu or Yoda or the droids even.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Get some Mace Windu.
In fact, I think episode 5 of this one is pretty much exclusively all droids.
Okay.
Or not droids, sorry,
Droids.
Clones.
Oh,
Droids and clones.
sounds
but,
better.
Well, I think the droids get their own adventures.
Well,
too.
you guys have been talking
Oh,
up like
gosh.
there's some pure droid shenanigans.
There is.
So
There
it's just-
straight up is.
I've been looking forward to.
There's literally one episode that is exactly like droids.
It's so good.
I don't know if I remember that, but I'm looking forward to it too now.
And then there's another, like, this whole one of just a bunch of crazy droids that go on this long adventure that's kind of, I still don't know how I feel about that storyline.
Crazy droids.
Oh boy, you'll find out.
Oh yeah,
It'll be,
for sure.
it'll be great. But we also see, like, straight up Palpatine is just telling
Oh yeah.
Dooku, like, literally all their secrets.
Yeah, all this. Yeah.
Like, hey, this is where the medical station is, and oh, Anakin's coming after you.
He immediately shows up.
Like as soon as the clones launch their attack, then Dooku calls Grievous on a hologram. Just got this latest intel from Palpatine. Like, man, this guy is so well informed. It's amazing. It's like he's the head of our government or
Right?
something.
Like, you would think that they would eventually notice that, like, hey, every time that we tell the Chancellor about something, like, the enemy
It
reacts.
just spreads everywhere.
I know, right? Like, you can't pass on everything and expect no one to notice.
Yeah.
It's a little surprising that they never quite picked up on that.
Are there any episodes though where they like are suspicious of a mole in the Senate or something? They're like trying to.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I remember one where there was like a more of a minor character who was really just like starting to put pieces together, and that was pretty interesting.
Sure.
Because it just makes sense. Somebody would figure this out.
Yeah.
It's one of those elements of the story where you know how it goes down in episode 3, so there's only so far they can go with that.
Yeah.
Like, it would be really interesting to see them just really start to, like Watergate, right? It goes all the way. This goes all the way to the
That's
top.
what I was thinking, like an investigative reporter.
Yeah, that would be very cool, actually. I don't think we got that.
Sindel.
Yeah, where's Sindel when you need her?
That's right. The little girl from the Ewok movies.
Yeah. Apparently,
yeah.
she became a reporter on
Yeah.
Coruscant.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
According
That's
to
what they say?
something. That's not in the movie. That's like,
Oh.
there's like
It's in
a
a
book
book.
where that happened.
It would have taken place long after this.
I would actually love to see her show up in something, though.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
it could be like some noir style
I know.
show. She has her own
Somebody who's
show.
like not a Jedi or like
Oh, yeah.
a
A normal person.
bounty hunter or somebody, just a normal person. I'd see a reporter. Sleuth.
That would be funny. Very different take.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully, like, with The Mandalorian being super popular, hopefully it'll, like, greenlit more different types of shows. Like, not all.
Yeah, experimental.
Yeah, some more, like, smaller stuff.
Mhm.
Let's
Mhm.
hope so anyway, so we'll see. I mean, at least we're getting an Obi-Wan.
Oh, I know.
Series,
So
apparently.
exciting.
Yeah. I think Disney is trying to do more of those things with Disney Plus, just like they are with the Marvel properties.
Oh yeah, they're doing tons of stuff with Marvel. It's kind of nuts.
So I think they're getting there with Star Wars, just trying to figure out the right direction to take it all.
Yeah, they're allowing so much more range with like the shows too. Like now that they're not just doing movies.
Hmm.
They've been performing really well,
Mhm.
especially since theaters have been closed.
Yeah, right. Good timing.
Good timing, Disney. How did they know? It's
Almost like someone.
Knew the whole
This goes all the way to the top.
Everything was already heading that direction.
Gosh. Oh, yeah. They saw the signs.
There's the Cassian Andor series. I forgot that they're coming out with.
Oh,
Apparently.
Yeah, I heard that, and I haven't heard anything about it in a long time. So I don't know.
See, that could be that kind of a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that interested in a Cassian
But why not?
series.
Just do anything. Like, it's great.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm interested to see it, but I'm not. That's not like what I'm, like holding my breath for, like I am for maybe some other things.
Right. That's how I feel too. It could be great.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm sure they'll do interesting things with it. We will see. We will see.
Well, I'm excited to watch the Jedi Temple Challenge show. Have any of you heard of that? I think Aaron has,
What's
based on
that?
his reaction.
It's a game show. It's not even a.
Legend of the Hidden Jedi Temple. Is that what we're talking?
Pretty much.
That's amazing.
Who's making a game show? A Star Wars game show?
Guess who hosts
The
it?
Rock.
No.
Jar Jar Binks.
Ahmed Best. Jar Jar Binks himself.
The voice actor.
Wait,
Or the
really?
mocap actor. Yeah, he
I
hosts
feel
it.
like he hasn't really done anything.
No, he's actually
I don't think he has
started
Oh my
to come
gosh.
out a bit.
come out of hiding.
I feel bad for him.
Oh yeah, right. Hopefully people are actually not jerks.
So I'm glad. Him and the poor kid who played Anakin.
Yeah, I don't know what he's kind of out of acting, I think.
Well, can't blame him.
Ahmed Best came back and voiced Jar Jar for some of these cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
But other than that, yeah, I don't know what he's doing. So there you go. That's what he's doing. Game show host.
Oh boy, are you gonna make a podcast about the game show?
I don't think
We might-
need to do that.
Oh well, maybe we could at least do one episode or something.
Well, yeah,
Just to see
maybe
how
that. We
ridiculous it is.
won't go through every episode of it.
But anyways,
They go through a nebula, right?
yep, because they were trying to cut off the Malevolence.
That's his shortcut.
So going through an old smuggler's run.
Yeah, and Plo Koon is like, no, you have to turn around. It's too dangerous in here.
Well, Anakin says that he had heard about this shortcut through the nebula. There's somewhere near Naboo, apparently, which is also near Tatooine. It's the same system. So he had heard like smugglers saying there's this smuggling route through the nebula. What did he call it though?
The Belmora.
Balmora Run.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like those kinds.
Balmora Run?
Yeah, and then Plo
Oh
Koon is
no!
like, that's what we're doing?
So, Sky Guy, how did you know about this shortcut?
It's an old smuggler's route. The pilots used to talk about it on Tatooine.
Smuggler's route? Huh. That makes me feel better.
They call it the Balmora Run.
Balmora Run?
Didn't you know there's space manta rays flying around in here?
Yeah, how did he miss that part?
That's how nebulas work. Nebulae.
I like how Plo Koon didn't even realize where he was flying until he's like, they got it taken care of. I'm not even gonna look up what street we're on or whatever.
What street we're on?
Nebrays.
Nebre
Called.
manta.
Nebre mantas, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're these huge manta rays. I mean, this felt very much like Solo when they're trying to get through Kessel Run. And there's that giant
Hmm.
bald monster.
Oh, yeah.
That was
And then in Rebels, there are some space whales.
Oh yeah, they will show up later on too.
ah.
In Rebels, anyways, we got a long ways. to
Yeah.
go.
Really?
Mhm.
Wait, like Fantasia?
Exactly. Like,
I thought this part was really cool. You know, not just Clone Wars all the time.
Yeah, poor Matchstick.
Matchstick, his Y-wing gets damaged.
Hmm.
Doesn't die here, but it sets up him dying later because the whole squadron tries to boost over the EMP burst, and his engine explodes when he tries to
oh, yeah.
kick it into high gear, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal.
Their initial plan was to blow up the bridge and kill Grievous. That was the plan.
Hmm.
But since they don't have enough fighters, Ahsoka says that they need to make a new plan, and Anakin listens to her. And they decide to like target a weak point on the EMP cannon, and then when Grievous tries to fire on the medical station, it self-destructs the ship.
But it doesn't get destroyed.
No.
It disables the guns
Yeah, it
anyway.
just disables the ion cannons.
Disable Malevolence is this episode. Yeah, there is a theme of Ahsoka trying to think a little more clearly about the situation maybe than Anakin, right? She's saying, you can do this stuff because you're a Jedi, but we got to find the best plan for everybody here.
Yeah, Anakin's just like way overconfident and super reckless, fitting his character.
I didn't realize before I watched this that she was his Padawan.
Right?
Oh, right. You
Like,
haven't
I've
seen
heard
the
of
movie.
her.
Padawan.
Mhm.
I didn't know he had a Padawan.
Nope, you wouldn't know from the movies.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'd even like heard of her character
Yeah.
just around. But
So you'll have to catch up, Hannah,
Mhm.
because in the movie you see Yoda just decides that she's gonna be Anakin's Padawan. He didn't want a Padawan.
Yeah.
Says I didn't sign up for
It's
this.
kind of like a second opinion on everything he does, which is
And
helpful
clearly-
for him, I think.
yeah, their personalities seem to balance each other out a bit.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's part of Anakin's training as well as Ahsoka's.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she goes on to be involved in other areas and things too. She kind of is, not just a random character from the Clone Wars
Mhm.
anymore.
Yeah, she gets very well fleshed out, and like she grows a lot as a character as well as just like age too, I guess.
Yeah, she's still like a little kid here.
Yeah, it's weird to see this now when I'm used to the later seasons of the Clone Wars.
I kind of like that because we know what happened to all of these characters, from episode 3. I mean, we kind of know where they all end up, but I don't know anything about what happens to Ahsoka except that she's not in episode 3. So
Mhm.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think, like I was saying, a lot of this stuff, you know how it goes because of episode 3. So it's nice that they were able to inject some new things and some new characters into it that you don't have the ending written yet.
right, that's why I want to see more main clone characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think of Ahsoka so far, Anna?
Yeah, I was kind of confused about how old she was. If she was supposed to be young or if she's just short. I didn't know.
She's very young.
Yeah, what is she supposed to be, like 13 or 14 or something?
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know she was that young, but she's acting like it.
Right. Yep, definitely acts like a kid
And I felt like she was kind of the comic relief sometimes.
when the droids aren't around.
Yeah, yeah.
She's the comic relief. Somebody's got to be, right? It's Star Wars. Come on.
Sure.
Gotta have that, you're right.
It's also so interesting that this was on Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah.
That's just interesting to me.
Well, Disney didn't own it yet.
Well, that's true. I'm just like trying to imagine watching it on there.
Yeah, I know. We could have been way into this show when we were growing up. What
I know.
we're totally missing out.
Right? I think about the shows we used to watch.
It's weird that we just passed it over.
We were older.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just past the age where we were maybe paying attention to what was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have just been like, oh, I'm watching Johnny Bravo or something, and now
Teen
the Clone Wars
Titans.
is on after it. Yeah, Teen Titans.
Yeah,
there you go.
man.
Well, that would have been great. Teen Titans, then Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
This would be good back to back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like even with this episode, like it's fun to see now, but it's not that compelling. I know that it's going somewhere. That keeps me maybe more interested, but like the way it's starting out isn't like so incredible
Yeah.
that it's just got me
Mhm.
totally hooked right from the get-go or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I want to watch more because it's Star Wars and I want to know what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say for like people out there who've like struggled to get into it, you can usually find a list of like which episodes to actually watch and which ones to just skip over.
Right.
Mm.
Especially with a show that does jump around so much, you don't have to see every Jar Jar adventure.
What? Gotta watch like all 10 seasons of Jar Jar's Great Adventure.
Yeah, is that a thing? Let's make that a thing.
Definitely a thing. I think I'm like more into Star Wars stuff than I ever was because we've been doing this podcast, which has been fun.
Yeah.
It's making us really dig into it all too.
I know, it's great. I've been playing the Jedi Knight games and like I don't know why I never played those before, but I mean honestly sometimes they're kind of a chore to get through. But it's Star Wars and like every little scrap of cool new Star Wars stuff I get keeps me going. So
Right.
it's fun. Really fun.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when we talked about the Clone Wars movie. When that came out, I liked Star Wars. I'd gone to all the prequel movies, but for some reason that one I just was like, it's a cartoon. It looks kind of weird. I don't know. I'm not gonna do that. Where I feel like now I'm in a place where, oh yeah, I'd go to a Star Wars animated movie. Sure, that
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
I feel like I like thought it was for kids.
I mean, it kind of was, but it's still Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right, I just didn't like think about it that way.
Were we weirdly like more skeptical as kids than we are now?
Hmm.
I think as teenagers we were skeptical of kid things.
Exactly. I didn't want to be associated with that.
Maybe that's true. Now I'm old enough, I can embrace
Like,
any
I
of
don't
this stuff.
care.
Exactly.
And it looks cool. I know, okay, on the one hand, I keep saying the animation is kind of clunky, but on the other hand, this is TV CGI in 2008. Like, it's pretty good for that. So there are some nice... I think the people are what look weird, but everything else is pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's just something that slowly also gets better throughout the series. I don't know if it's just because they started building up like a collection of models.
I bet their budget got bigger.
That too, I'm sure. I'm curious, like, what their budget was.
Right. Per episode.
Oh man, I was reading, and apparently, I don't know who Paul Dini is, but he pitched 2 ideas, but they were rejected for episodes. But one of them was Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala hiring an Ewok assassin.
Whoa, that would be something.
Right?
Paul Dini is just a writer for stuff.
Yeah, that's what I had heard the name. He's done some DC Comics animated series.
Oh, he also worked on Droids and Ewoks.
That's where I've seen the name. Oh my goodness. He was in like the opening credits of all the 80s cartoons.
Oh, okay.
He was always like the Munyips were flying around his name.
Right. That's where I know you from. The Munyips.
Oh, he did Horville's Hut of Horrors. Yep.
Great. Classic.
There's and Wicket's Wagon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that one was pretty good for what it was.
Right.
All right, I got nothing else to say about this episode.
No, we'll wrap it up next time.
Yeah, when they destroy Malevolence.
Well, we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Right, that they might.
Maybe it's a big misdirection.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. See you all next time, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.